What's up out there? We are back with an Absolution Inquisitor, and we are in Act 9. So we're blasting through the campaign. I just took some time off camera to swap out this scepter, just get rid of that thing, for this one here. You'll notice we've got a whole bunch of sockets that are free right now. I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to add stuff at this moment. As long as I'm pushing through the campaign and killing things and not dying, that's my criteria for pushing forward. So I just kind of keep running forward as much as I can. I don't try to stop and do a whole lot necessarily. I probably should spend a little bit more time. We're going to lock up here. Nope, we're loading. I should probably spend a little bit more time looking around and seeing what skills that other people use and things like that. I just don't. I try to push forward and keep going. And some of that is going to be to my detriment. Like this, chances are high I'm going to get killed here because I don't have freeze resistance. This place usually gets me. You'd think I'd learn at some point, but I don't. I'm going to kill a little bit of this stuff off here while we're here. Try to level up and get that Eldritch Battery picked up. What I have on this scepter, it had increased elemental damage. It's also got +1 level of all physical spell skill gems. So now I've got +2 on this thing here. So that brought up my DPS a little bit. And then I adds some lightning damage to it. I potentially could, I know there's some city crafting or town crafting, whatever it's called out there. I know there's some stuff I can do with the runes or whatever we've got in this league. I don't think I have enough of them, and I've not been sending shipments anymore. I've kind of basically quit sending shipments. So I don't have enough of that stuff to apply these to the earlier lower skill or lower level builds that I've got like this. So that's why you don't see me using those. Oh God, I don't want to do syndicate stuff. Go, 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 go. All right, we're at the desert now. Very close to Eldritch Battery. Good, we didn't get syndicate stuff down here. It'd be cool if Eldritch Battery solves my mana problems, but I think it's going to create more problems than it's going to solve, but we'll see. There's the level we need. I don't remember if we need to do that weathered thing down here. I usually end up doing it. I try to find it while I'm in here, just because I think it leads to the next quest. I think you have to finish it before you can do... There's some of these that chain together, and I don't remember which ones do. Alright, are we safe over here for a minute? Pop that into there. Let's see how badly I get killed. That solve my mana? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That appears to have solved my mana problems. There we go. That's the thing I'm looking for. All right, we have unlimited mana now. Well, I shouldn't say unlimited, but we definitely have the ability to cast a lot more. And I don't appear to be taking damage either. Well, there's some damage. We'll have to see what happens when something nasty hits. Yeah, that Stormblade. I think that leads to another quest. I already got that down there, yeah. I'm probably going to want to bump up my life quite a bit, so life will be another priority here soon. Yeah, that's much nicer. I also like to go and get that thing going. It just gets those quests moving along. There's some quests that daisy chain. I can never remember which ones they are. I don't really care to try to remember either. So basically what I do is I grab some of these precursor quests or whatever. I just kind of knock those out. and try to just be ready to go for them when they do show up. That way I can go back to town. I've been following some advice that people have of finishing the campaign quickly, like not going to town as much, trying to do as much as you can out here, finish off the quests, you know, memorize quests and stuff like that as you go, those kinds of things. You know what? I don't need that mana potion anymore. Yeah, Eldritch Battery's huge. This is much nicer. I should have came over to Eldritch Battery a long time ago. Okay, we have another point to assign here. That's all cold type stuff. Int, I don't think we need right now. Minions with Onslaught would be hilarious. Energy Shield. Increased damage while on full Energy Shield. I wonder how that applies, because if I'm constantly using Energy Shield for mana, would that keep me at that? I'll have to look at that going into it. Increased damage if you've shocked an enemy recently. I think we looked at this earlier. We'll go ahead and take that. Chance to shock. That is 70% chance to shock. This out here. Basically, I wanted to take a pit stop so I could grab this Sanctified Life Flask. Hopefully I can heal fairly quickly in here. I always die at this fight. I just almost 99% of the time I die at this fight. We are not doing a whole lot of damage either. Well, I probably don't have any minions. I do have some minions. Oh, don't stand in that. I actually didn't die in there. That's cool. That's rare. Normally I die at that fight. Like I die almost every time at that fight. I don't know what it is about it. I just die. It's all that lightning, whatever the shock or whatever damage you take on that. I always die at it. This is one thing that I think they could improve too on the campaign. This area here, starting from this point, there are no portals. It'd be nice to have a portal somewhere in here. There's been times where I've had to actually do something like take a call or something, and if you stop this fight, or if you stop anywhere along this route until you've beaten it, you're stuck. You can't finish it. You have to start over. And that kind of sucks. I would love to see this to where you didn't have to start over. At no point in here is there a waypoint, so now you got to do all three of these fights and the final boss fight with those two levels. I would love to see some kind of waypoint, at least there, where you could at least get back to that, because if you only have time to do one of the boss fights, you still have to come back through all the levels. I've had to do this over again. I've also learned to plan not to be able to do this in one shot. Or I've learned to plan to be able to do this in one shot, is what I should say. Wow, that was an instant. Probably wasn't instant, but man, it sure felt like it. I think I saw my health down a little bit. Oh. And I'm going to stupidly run in here and keep fighting this. Man. Why can I not move? Oh, it's because... Yeah, see, I still have... Oh, it's because this stuff's all up, right? Yeah, see, I've had so much AoEs on all my melee builds, this hasn't been a big deal. Oh. This is going to be one of these. It's going to take a while. I probably should go with 3 health potions. I'm probably going to die again, so what I think I'll do is go with 3 health potions. And you can't move. I hate when it feels like you're walking through pudding. There is nothing worse than that. Yeah, I see, like, my life regen is so slow. Alright. We'll just finish this fight. Or not. See, this, like I said, this is where it starts. God. She would have just died like she was supposed to. Man, taking a massive amount of damage. Alright. I wish there was a portal right here. They need to put a waypoint there. That, I would love to have a waypoint, just so I didn't have to portal out of there. I am going to run another flask. We're going to do another life flask in here. This is where, like I said a while, probably several hours ago, this is where things are starting to get difficult. My build is starting to suffer a little bit. I'm not sure what to do with it. I know I need more life and stuff, so I would probably need to retune some of my gear. But at this point, I'm kind of, you know, I'm almost to Act 10. I've got this part. Here's the other part. So if I go mess around with my gear and that portal goes away, then I have to go back through all of this again. And that's another reason I would love to see a waypoint there. Like, I didn't realize, I probably should have saw that my gear was pretty bad and I needed to upgrade and all that stuff before this. But there's not really an opportunity to mess with it now, because if you take the time to stop and go back and deal with it, then you're going to lose your portal. That was another thing that I've ran into, is not just having to stop and go do something else, but I've definitely ran into times where I went to go correct my gear and I couldn't get anything done or I could get the gear corrected, but I couldn't get back in here to do anything because the portal was gone. So I had to go redo it. So there's definitely some issues with this area that I would love to see this treated differently, so that you could come back to it and come back to it more easily, especially like just having a waypoint. I feel like a waypoint would be such a good thing right there. But because I'm going to end up dying here most likely. Unless we see some... nope. Yeah, even with 3... Where's his minions at? Because those should start giving me life potions. Yeah, see... Life regen is way too low. Need to bump that up. That's one. I know I need more life. Probably should have about, what, 2,500, 3,000 life somewhere in there, I'm guessing. But this is where the struggle starts, and it's usually Act 7, 8, or 9 where things really start to be noticeable that I'm running into issues. And they don't necessarily show up ahead of time, so it's not like something I can plan for. Yeah, maybe if I knew the fights, or if I knew the game a lot better, maybe it would go better. Where'd she go? I thought I was moving around fast enough. Or to the correct angle, let's just say that. Oh, God. Yes, this does get painful. And I'm sure it's just as painful to watch. This next fight's going to be ridiculous. It always is. If I'm struggling here, the combined version of all these things... God, they're right there. Just die. Die at the last second, please. Where's she at? And she literally just walked into it and died. This Trinity fight sucks, and this gets excruciatingly frustrating. But like I said, because you can't get a waypoint, you can't just come back and do this again. You're kind of stuck doing this fight. And if you can't do it, or if you wanted to go mess with your gear or something, you're kind of stuck and you got to redo all this stuff again. I don't know if you have to redo that whole fight. God damn it, I got stuck. Instant frustration of trying a new build. Act 10 will be a real treat too. God. Yeah, we're starting to die a lot. Come on, man. Jesus. Can't even get into the area. And I'm going to guess that once this build hits mapping, it's going to be really tough. Because if I'm struggling now, it's going to be really hard once I get into mapping. And I'm not quite sure what needs to be taken care of. So, like I said many times throughout this series so far, this is where the builds start getting either like my Ice Crash. I sailed through that. I didn't have any issues with Ice Crash. I died a couple times here in the campaign, here and there. But what you just saw is definitely indicative of a time when the build is starting to struggle, and I need to figure out where that struggle point is and resolve it. So we're probably do more damage. I would probably look at needing to do more damage, and probably definitely need to get some kind of, I don't know what it is. My resistances are fine. Where's that thing at? Ivory Tower is 67. I want to try the Ivory Tower and see how that goes. We've got a ways to go. It's basically once we finish the game. But like my resistances are all good. Chaos resistance is terrible. So maybe there's some chaos resistance in there. I definitely don't have enough life regen. Probably don't have enough life in general. I mean, I would guess I need to work on all that. I've been trying to put, like, I've got 107 life on here, 122 on that, 108 over there, 60 there. So I've got life on a lot of my stuff. It's just not enough at this point. And maybe I've over invested into energy shield. Maybe I could tone that down a little bit and put more life in. I'm not sure. But got through that in 36 minutes. We've got a lot of deaths in here. Deaths 18 times. That is excessive for how things have been going lately. Most of the builds that I've been getting through, I die half a dozen times, maybe a dozen, something like that. We're probably going to die a couple of more times before we get out of the campaign. Kitava might be another death streak. Who knows? That fight there is another one that I typically die at and struggle with. But anyway, we are in Act 10, and that is going to do it for this episode. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.